Today, we are going to dive into a single decision that could cost you over $182,000 in retirement. It's a choice that, hundreds of thousands of people get wrong every single year.
For millions of Americans getting close to retirement, this is the big question, isn't it? Do you grab your benefits the second you can, at age 62? Or do you hold out until 70 to get the absolute biggest check possible? And the difference, well, it's not just a few bucks. It can literally reshape your entire retirement.
So where does that massive number even come from? Well, a major study found that for a typical household, claiming Social Security too early led to a lifetime loss of over $182,000. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's a new car, years of travel, or just plain old peace of mind completely left on the table.
But here's where things get really interesting. Even though all the math says waiting pays off, almost half of all Americans claim their benefits before they even hit 65. And only a tiny fraction, just 1 in 10, actually waits until age 70 to max out their payout. So what's going on here? To understand that, we've got to look under the hood and see how the system actually works.
First up, the benefit calculation. Look, to make the right call, you absolutely have to know how the government crunches the numbers in the first place.
The Social Security Administration, the SSA, uses this 3-step process. I know it might look a little complicated, but let's break down exactly what each of these steps really means for you. Okay, step 1 is calculating your AIME. That's your average indexed monthly earnings. That sounds super technical, right? But it's basically just a fancy way of saying they find your 35 highest paid years of work, adjust all those old salaries for inflation, and then figure out your monthly average. And here's the kicker. If you don't have 35 years of work, they put a 0 in for each missing year, and that can really pull your average down.
Next up, your AIME gets plugged into this formula using what they call bend points. Honestly, the best way to think about these is like tax brackets, but in reverse. The whole system is progressive, which just means it's designed to give lower-income folks a higher percentage of their earnings back. You get 90% of your first chunk of earnings, but that drops all the way down to 15% for the highest portion.
And finally, we get to the most critical step, adjusting for your claiming age. This is the part you control. If you claim right at 62, you get a smaller check for life. We're talking a permanent 30% cut. But for every single year you wait past your full retirement age, your benefit grows by 8%. So the difference between 62 and 70? It's not small, it's a 77% bigger check every single month for the rest of your life.
But, the calculation isn't the end of the story. Let's look at 2 other big factors that can change what you actually get paid: taxes and work.
First, let's talk taxes. A lot of people are surprised by this, but yep, your Social Security benefits can be taxable. It all comes down to what the IRS calls your combined income. That's your other income from a 401k, a pension, whatever, plus half of your Social Security. If that number goes over certain thresholds, you could end up paying federal income tax on up to 85% of your benefits.
Second, what if you want to work and collect benefits at the same time? Well, if you're under your full retirement age, something called the Retirement Earnings Test kicks in, and the government will temporarily withhold some of your benefits. But here's a huge misconception. That money is not gone forever. Once you hit your full retirement age, the SSA actually recalculates your benefit and pays you back, giving you a bigger monthly check for the rest of your life.
So now that we kind of get the rules, let's talk strategy. This is where the perfect numbers on a spreadsheet smash right into the realities of, well, real life.
On one side, you've got these incredibly powerful financial reasons to wait. You get a bigger monthly check, a much higher payout over your lifetime, and, this is a big one, a larger survivor benefit for your spouse if you pass away first. But on the other side, you've got completely valid, real-world reasons to claim early. Maybe you just need the money now, you're dealing with health problems, or you simply want to start enjoying retirement as soon as you can.
Let's just pause on that for a second. An 8% annual return, guaranteed by the US government, and it's adjusted for inflation every year. I mean, you literally cannot buy an investment like that anywhere else. From a pure numbers standpoint, it is one of the best deals in all of finance.
Now, of course, all this assumes the money is actually going to be there when you need it, which brings us to the biggest fear a lot of people have. Is Social Security going bankrupt?
So, is the system going broke? The official answer is a clear no. According to the government's own reports, Social Security can pay out 100% of everything it promised until the mid-2030s.
And even after that, if Congress does absolutely nothing, the taxes still coming in would cover about 80% of benefits. So a cut is possible, but going to zero is not.
So the key thing to remember here is pretty simple. The system has a funding shortfall, not a bankruptcy problem. A reduction in benefits is definitely on the table down the road if politicians don't get their act together. But this idea that the checks are just going to stop, it's just not based in reality.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So what's the bottom line here? Let's just boil it all down to the key things you need to remember.
First, remember this is a six-figure decision. Don't take it lightly. Second, the math is crystal clear. Patience pays off, and waiting until 70 is how you maximize your payout. Third, and this is probably the most important thing, this isn't just a math problem. Real life, your health, your immediate needs, those are perfectly valid reasons to claim early. And finally, please don't let those scary bankruptcy headlines drive your choice. The system has a shortfall, not a collapse.
So when it's all said and done, the question you have to answer is this. Are you making a choice based just on the numbers on a spreadsheet or on the actual realities of your life? There is no single right answer for everyone, but understanding the trade-offs is the absolute key to making the best decision for you. This is not financial advice.